Right, welcome ladies and gents. The Penguin episode 2, or The Penguin Inside Man, has been released. And it was well worth the wait. What an episode this was. Genuinely amazing. I am so enjoying the dodges and twists and turns and weaves that are happening throughout this crime thriller. And that's what this is at its very core. It's such a good show. So expertly put together. I have praised the technical aspect of this show numerous times, but I think it's really important just to keep banging on about that because it's not treated. DC's last comic book ventures on TV were things like the CW shows. God awful things. Utterly god awful. And then when DC finally decides, Warner Brothers finally decides that, hey, these properties are well worth taken seriously, this happens. We get a crime thriller, right? The Sopranos, The Godfather in Gotham. And it's immaculately amazing. So well done. The cinematography is perfect. There was even a subtle shade of colour grading reminiscent of Joker in this episode. I know it's not a nod to Joker, but it's that lovely blues and greens hues coming through. It's fantastic. Anyway, what happens in this episode? Wow. Goodness me. We've got Sofia Falcone, played by the ever epic Kristen Milioti. She is such a good actor. I wasn't aware of who she was and what she's been in before. I know she was in How I Met Your Mother. She was the mother. But she's exceptional in this. She's terrifying. She plays this sort of insane, well, kind of insane. Who knows, really? She's insane. She plays this insane crime family member so well. We open with her having a counselling session, sort of a psychotherapy session, and she's thrust back into Arkham Asylum. And it was, wow, yeah, really brutal. We get Alberto resurrected from the dead in there, in her nightmares, so to speak. And you can see the sort of cracks begin to appear. You know, everywhere she goes, people talk about her. You know, are you okay? You're okay. You know, and she's like, no, I'm home. I'm going to do this. Fantastic. Really good. But the core of this show is, of course, the Penguin. We learn a lot about the Penguin as we're going through this. And it is interesting because there was some interviews recently where the showrunners, and I think it was the showrunner, came out and said we're not going to call him the Penguin. They called him the Penguin in this episode. Really odd that they've come out and said that, but then still called him the Penguin in this episode. I think it's to throw people off the scent, actually. I wouldn't be surprised if the Batman doesn't turn up, or there's a mention of it, or do you know what I mean? Something like this. Because they said that they weren't going to call him the Penguin, but they called him the Penguin in this. Weird. But anyway, the core of this episode, well, the core of this whole series is the Penguin himself. And he's really beginning to play off the Maronis against the Falcones. Like, massively so. Hugely so. So he goes back to Blackwater prison. And Maroney's there, played by the fantastic Clancy Brown. And obviously he's like, hey, you know, you're wearing that ring. You're obviously taking on this hit. Let's do it together, right? Here's some more information. I know where the drops are going to go. You need to ambush to get the drops. Waste everyone. I'll be in the back car. Don't worry about that one. Leave it. And waste everyone. So that's the plan, but obviously things change. Johnny Vitti decides, no, this is the Penguin's operation. He's going to go in the drop truck, messing up the whole plan. And it's this really tense scene. There's a lot of good action in this, actually, but it's not bombastic. It's not above and beyond what you'd expect for they're not low level, but this form of criminal underworld. Right, this level of criminal underworld. It's not above and beyond that. It's kind of what you'd expect. Anyway, it's really tense. Really tense. Great action pans out obviously the ambush happens, but the Penguin's not where he's going to be, so he has to think on his feet. And we start to see Colin Farrell's Penguin really come into his own because of all of this quick thinking that he does all the time. Always one step ahead. Even when he's one step behind, he's so quick that he becomes one step ahead of the game. And it's really, really smartly written, actually, how he does these certain things. Even when it's like all odds are stacked against him, there's one way out of it. And he gets it pretty much every single time. It's really, really well done, actually. But then we're seeing Kristen Milioti's Sofia Falcone and her constantly being snubbed by Luca Falcone, the new kingpin of Gotham. And obviously she's not happy about this. Inside Man is obviously them trying to find the rat. Obviously the rat is the Penguin, but Penguin obviously is going to start to frame other people, which he does. He frames Sofia's right-hand man. And I think the real linchpin of her snapping and deciding to take down the old men, as she called them, going to make them get on their knees, was the fact that Luca Falcone killed the right-hand man of Sofia, who was the inside man, who allegedly, according to her, killed her brother. And I really liked that moment, because you could see that was it. That was the snapping moment. That was the bit where she goes, no, that was my kill. That I had that blood owed to me, and he just took it away. Took away her revenge. And so they become the centre of her revenge. They become the focus of her revenge. And I really liked that. And I'm skipping over quite a large, substantial amount of stuff, so you can just watch it and enjoy it. It's an hour-long episode. There's a lot to unpack. But how it ends with her propositioning the Penguin to work together to take down Luca Falcone, Johnny Vidi, and the other people was amazing. And the callback to an earlier conversation that the Penguin had had, where to get over, well, he basically tried to say his mum was dead and said that his brothers were dead, which we'll probably find out later down the line. Maybe they're not dead. Who knows? He lies so much. Maybe he believes some of his lies. But anyway, he says that his mum got over his brother's death by going to a jazz club and dancing, basically. And so it closes with him going, Sophia turns to him and goes, are you ready? You in? And he goes, yeah, let's dance. I just, what a sick way to end. This is so well written. It's so well written. So well written. I love this show. I really love this show. And I like the subtle nods to the Riddler. There was that in there as well. I blame the Riddler. It's great. I don't think this show could get any better. Every single episode is brilliant. Every single kill is earned. Everything is put together in such a good way. Now, I've watched one other 10 out of 10 show this year, which was Shogun. And I feel like the Penguin may become a 10 out of 10 show. Both episodes now have been 10 out of 10. I love this show. I cannot wait for next week. I cannot wait to see what happens. It's so, so good. And I have to look at the cast list because someone popped up today. Shora Agdashlu plays Salvatore Maroni's wife. This actress is best known as the interesting voice lady from The Expanse. But she's great. There's so many good people that are popping up in this. Theo Rossi popped up in this. He's an actor I haven't seen for a little while. He was great to see. There's so many great actors just popping up here, there and everywhere. And I can't wait to see Mark Strong, who will be playing a younger version of Carmine Falcone in flashbacks. So this is great. 10 out of 10 show so far. Hope it sticks the landing. I hope it continues. I cannot wait for next week's episode. So if you've watched it, let me know what you think down below. I adore this show. I think this is brilliant. This is one of the best things on TV. Well, it is the best thing on TV at the moment for me. So yeah, watch it if you haven't already. So anyway, leave your thoughts down below. Hit subscribe if you're new here. Cheers guys, take care. Bye-bye now.